Hello everybody, this is JD. I'm going to talk to you a little bit today. I probably won't upload this video unless some people ask for me to send it to everybody. But I don't send you every video I make. The reason I don't send you every video is I want to give you something to look at. Something for you to see besides. Besides, I can't send you every one I make. But this is an important video. Where and how does your rights go in this country? Where does it begin? Now, this could be my opinion, the way I feel, and I feel very strongly on this. Now, if you start to get abortion involved in this, understand what really constitutes an abortion? Anything that terminates a pregnancy. So, if you take the pill constantly, the birth control pill, you are having an abortion every month. I mean, that's it. It terminates any chance of your pregnancy. Well, you're not pregnant yet. No, the egg does follow through during the period of the time when you're not on the one type of pill and you go to another type of pill, which then prevents you from getting pregnant. Or what it does is prevents the pill from going except for a certain period of time, and then at that time you can't get pregnant. It causes the egg to die. That still is terminating a pregnancy. That is still an abortion. Okay? Now that we got that out of the way, and you know where I stand, and I'm against abortions, all types. But that is not my call. I truly believe that that's between the mother, the father, their religious leaders, their doctors, and etc. That group, not the federal government. They should stay completely out of it. But I truly also believe that because there are some people that have very, very strong religious beliefs against any form of abortion, federal government money should not be used, because part of that money being used are people who are strongly against abortions. I do not believe our government has the right to tell you yes or no, but I also believe that our government does not have the right to spend any money on it either. Now, that's enough on abortions, okay? Now, the next thing, what I'm really talking about is individual rights. And again, this is my own personal belief. I believe that once that growth inside the female body leaves and draws its first breath, at that point, born anywhere in the territory of the United States or the states, in other words, anything that is covered by the Constitution of the United States, that includes military installations around the world, because they are territories of the United States, as long as we have active troops there. That child is an American citizen at the instant it draws its first breath. And from that point on, the Constitution has to protect that individual. I don't think it does, though. People talk about partial abortions when a child comes out and he doesn't die and he's living, and they say, well, should we save it or shouldn't we? The law, that child is now an American citizen. Once that child draws that first breath, that child now is an American citizen. And the law says its life is to be saved. But should we stop there? How many children in this country are black marketed? How many people in this country are black marketed? Do you know, I was talking to someone the other day about my grandmother, who sometime after World War II, my mother's Italian family went to Germany and bought her. Paid cash and brought her. Brought her back in. They listed her coming in as Ava Fester, which is not really her name. But if you go to customs, and Ellis Allen stuff, you'll find there is an Ava Fester that did come back with the family. And they said it was a cousin. It was not. It was a German young girl that they bought. I don't remember too much about her life because I was taken at a very young age to foster families in Connecticut. But when we did go to New York all the time to visit them, I remember these apartment buildings in Brooklyn, and she lived in one of them, and she would have to go to work all the time, she said, and she would go and she'd scrub the floors, and she would be on her hands and knees scrubbing all the floors inside all the apartment buildings and everything. I remember that she could only shop at certain markets, but she never gave them money. She picked out the food and stuff. Usually it was daily and stuff. I remember that. I remember my grandfather never working. He never worked a day in his life, I'm told. I remember that. I remember she used to work from early in the morning to late at night. And sometimes I'd be out there helping her. To me, it wasn't work, being with my grandmother on my hands and knees with the water scrubbing the hallways and the floors and everything. That wasn't work. I was with my grandmother. Her rights wasn't protected. I don't even know if she ever became an American citizen, to be honest with you. I really don't know. But I do know this, that there are children and there are people in this country whose rights are not being protected. Not just those of foreign immigrants, but actual, real American citizens. There are children being born who are taken away from their families and put up for adoption because the families can't afford the children, because of this, because of that. Oh, it's a better life for the child. Is it? I don't know. I know I can say truthfully as a foster child that some of the foster homes I had gone to were better than my own. And I could say a lot of them were worse. But you see, I lived through it. To me, it was day-to-day living. I was in a foster family where they took children in to make money. I would never, ever, ever wish that on any child. There's more psychological damage done to that child in a family like that. No matter how much they have to give, those children are always second-class citizens. They're just a dollar bill. And I was in foster families where they took children in for companions because they couldn't have children. And they had like one child. Those are okay, but you always know that you're there for the other person. And then I've been in foster families where you were taken in because they love children. But there's one thing that a child never forgets. When they're not real young, they do have a mother and father. And why? They don't understand that. I never understood it till I got old enough and I was able to see my own records. But that ain't what this is to talk about. This is to talk about the individual rights of the children in this country. We have to start from the time they're born to recognize and believe that the individual rights. We have to protect those who can't protect themselves. Not just the people who are 18 years old and older, but also the people who are younger, the people who aren't old enough to protect themselves. We have to believe in the Constitution of the United States, and we have to enforce it. And understand that the Constitution applies to each and every American born in this country from the instant they draw their first breath. No matter what we want to think, no matter what we care, the truth is that each and every individual that's born in the United States and its territories, from the time they take that first breath, is an American citizen, and their rights need to be protected. And that is the job of the government. And it's not doing a very good job. Thank you. This is JD, just JD.